So day one of the one-off test between the Indian women's cricket team as well as the Australian women's cricket team has come to an end, and it's been an interesting day of action really. Remember, this is a pink ball test match, so it is a test match that is being played under day-night conditions, and therefore there was always going to be some intrigue around it for two reasons. One, of course, the fact that it is a day-night test match, and the second is that India, Australia, two teams who right now would be two of the top teams in women's cricket competing in a test like this. Well, there was always going to be some degree of interest, right? Well, whoever actually did end up tuning in for the match was definitely in for a treat, because again, it was a fairly even day, although it is fair to say that the Australian women's team would be far happier with how it is that things have panned out in this match. Let's quickly take a look at how it is that the day went about. The Australian women team won the toss and therefore opted to bowl, a decision which while does fly against conventional logic, does make a little bit of sense when you consider that the pink ball dances and dances a lot when the lacquer around it is very new. And truth be told, it was a decision that did find some vindication. They managed to get a few early wickets. Smriti Mandana went without really dismissing or without troubling the scorers. Shafali Verma got a start, couldn't convert that. Same with the Pratika Rawal. Jemima Rodriguez did end up getting a decent half century, but aside from that, and Kashvi Gautam chipping in with a valuable 34 in the lower order, there wasn't much else to write home about. Harmanpreet Kaur could only manage 19, Pratika got 18, Deepti Sharma got 7, Richa Ghosh got 11. Not a great day all in all for the Indian women team batters. Now, there was an expectation or maybe a thought that once they got the chance to bowl, they might be able to inflict similar damage. And well, they were dismissed within 62.4 overs, having posted 198. Now, obviously, that is by no means ideal. You'd be wanting at least 300 odd runs, even in a day-night test where you know the pink ball is going to give some advantage to the bowlers. But they did make a good start to the first innings when Australia were batting, because again, you had Sayali Sadgare get rid of Georgia Wall early. Phoebe Litchfield ended up falling to Kranti Gaur. So at that point in time, you're thinking, okay, maybe, just maybe, you can actually build something here and actually fight back. And that feeling would have only intensified when they managed to get rid of Elisa Healy in the 20th over. They were 58 for 3 at that point. And you're thinking, something could potentially happen here, except Elise Perry and Annabelle Sutherland put a stop to any thoughts on that. They batted well and currently unbeaten in a pretty valuable partnership for the Australian team. Of course, Elise Perry, we know, an all-time great player and someone who has, let's say, passed off thwarting India on any other big team really when it comes to such match situations. She's currently batting on 43, Annabelle Sutherland on 20. So it would have been an interesting match really if India could have gotten at least one of these two out. But as things stand, as I said, Australia trailing by just 102 runs, and it definitely would have been they'd be the happier of the two teams. Of course, many would be wondering why it is that you need to be having this as a pink ball test match. The fact is, if you want to promote the longest format in the women's game, it does make some sense to ensure that you're playing it day night so that you can actually have more spectators come in rather than be playing it in the middle of the week and then have it be happening during the daytime when you know full well that there's no chance of spectators being a part of the match. However, there is also a flip side to that, in that in the bid for commercial interest, you pretty much ensure that the team will be facing up against a tough pink ball, which we know can often give even the best of players, regular test players, trouble. The women's team don't play as many test matches, so this was always going to be a problem. But let's see how it is that day two goes about. Again, you can never say never. The ebbs and flows of a test match means that India are not out of the game, but it is Australia who will be the team that is happier after the end of day one. So do let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this test match, and don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon as well. Follow us on social media too. We are on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport. Also, stay tuned for the live dugout. For those of you who are asking in the comments, it will be beginning at around 7:15 p.m. The reasons for that, well, you'll get to know soon enough, but 7:15 is when we can expect the dugout to be premiering, and that's when we will be live with the dugout. Join us then. For now, from me, it is bye-bye.